This is another handout in your packet. These are some payroll tax percentages and limits. These are the type of taxes that you're going to withhold, at what rate, and at what wage limit. So for instance, federal unemployment, 940 tax, is 0.6% on the first 7,000. So the most you'd ever pay on each employee is $42 a year. Federal withholding, obviously, they're just getting that based on their W-4, so there's no limit there. Medicare, they have not put limits on, but it is 1.45% for the company and the employee. Social Security on the company side is 6.2%. And if any of you are paying your employees over $110,100, then you would stop after that. Social Security employee, currently right now, last year it was 4.2%, and they extended that through February of this year. We've not heard yet whether they'll continue to extend that out or if it will go back to the 6.2 that it was. And this is kind of a cheat sheet. And then your Colorado unemployment, your SUDA, you get that rate from the state. The state assigns that to you. That's unique to you. And that changes every year. You'll get an annual form in the mail that will tell you what your new rate is.
So, on the limit, you said it was the first 7,000, and so at the bottom it would be the first 110,000.
Yep, for those two, yep.
Just have a question. Does the employer pay like a matching Social Security like Medicare? Is that what it is? If we get, and then
Well,
the
it does,
employee pays?
the Medicare does match, but Social Security currently does not match. See, it used to be the employee paid 6.2 and the employer paid 6.2.
So that's what happened. I'm sorry. Now I'm clear. It's been a while since I set it up. So we do eventually pay Social Security and Medicare, but we don't pay twice. Anyway.
Oh,
Okay.
you were referring back to the state
Back to
withholding.
the, yeah,
Yes.
so we don't actually end up paying twice, for the employer and the employee, but we do pay Social Security and Medicare as a spouse.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Did you have a question?
That was answered.
Oh, okay.
Can you go down that list and tell me, as a sole proprietor, what I have to be looking out for? Should I be paying Social Security or withholding?
As a sole proprietor, it's
Yeah,
just you
I'm paying
yourself.
myself.
You're paying yourself payroll, or you
Well-
don't technically have to do payroll when you're a sole proprietor.
Right.
You can just take draws, and
Yeah.
a lot of people in that situation end up paying estimated tax payments to the Colorado Department of Revenue for your state withholding,
Yeah,
and the IRS for the federal withholding tax.
so am I paying any Social Security or?
No, you're not.
You end up paying it in the back end at the end of
At
the
the end
year.
of the
Yeah.
year.
And
Like
at first, when you're in the
self-employment
business, no.
tax.
So what's the, because I do the same thing, so, well, how much should I be putting aside to pay at the end of the year? What, let's say my paycheck for the week is $500, for instance. How much of those $500 should I be putting on the side so I can either pay quarterly, because I'm actually sending them money quarterly, because that way at the end of the year I don't have like this $8,000 bill that I have to pay in, but how much should I be putting aside?
It depends on your tax bracket. Anybody ranges anywhere from 10 to 30%. I don't know what you take home. That's a good question for, do you have an accountant? 'Cause I don't look at the,
No, she kind of helps me out whenever she can, but I
Usually
kind of
wanna
do all of
ask
it
them-
myself.
you're gonna be taxed like on your income. And so what you want to do is talk to them about your income and say, okay, this is what my income is, this is what my take home is, what tax bracket do I fall into, because it's you personally and also your business they're considering. So you have to find out where your tax bracket is, and most of them will tell you to, if you want high side, take 30%, throw it into a savings account, and you'll always be covered.
Okay.
But
Didn't we see some clients this year, though, where their CPAs were recommending they do run a little bit through payroll?
yeah, depending on the type of
Ask
company
for it.
they're also too,
Okay.
so.
With your distributions on top of your payroll, how is that taxed? Is that at the end of the year? I mean, I'm just curious, I never understood that.
The distributions report on your K-1. Your K-1 flows over to your personal taxes. On your personal side, it's not taxed.
And that can be on quarterly, you pay quarterly estimates on your
Right, which I
distributions
do.
there too.
Yes,
So you're not paying
That's
it all
the
at the
way
end.
from the previous year.
yeah.
But then is your payroll, that's just taxed at whatever percentage you're.
Yeah, like a lot of times owners, what happens is if they, say if they're I mean, a lot of these questions are answered by the accountant, because I don't do that side of it. I don't see, a lot of times I'm seeing the business side, but I don't look at you personally, and your personal will affect everything. So your business flows to your personal, you know, I'm just creating them as separate right now as a sole proprietor together, but it flows over to your personal. And right there, it can affect everything. You know, did you have mortgage interest to write off, and maybe the next year you didn't have anything to write off, or I mean, on that side of it, that's a question you really want to ask your accountant. Yeah.
Can you just explain, maybe this is a simple question, but what is it, is the distribution the draw that you take as a pay
Yes.
to yourself?
It's a non-tax concept, and it ends up on like your balance sheet instead of your P&L. Because when you run payroll, your gross wages is an expense to the business. As a distribution, a lot of people don't understand this, when you take a draw, it's your equity. You're taking money out of your business. So it ends up on your balance sheet.
And
So,
that's what the whole workshop is about next week.
yeah, we get a lot out of that one.
I have another question. So at the end of the year, when I have paid $5,000, part of that is going to my Social Security as well? I just want to verify.
Say that
Do
one
you
more
know what
time.
I'm saying? So at the end of the year, when I pay like my $5,000, let's say I had to pay $5,000 for that year, would that, part of that go to my Social Security, and does that make sense?
Yes, when it's all said and done.
Yeah, when it's all said and done, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to make sure I'm going to get a check when I get